U.S., not from a military standpoint. The admiral made it clear it's pretty easy to defeat them militarily, but from a morale standpoint.
Leland, I think it's pretty clear because the Ford Carrier Strike Group has been there for 3 weeks and 70% of the American public is opposed to military activity in Venezuela, that the president isn't inclined to strike because he could have struck with all of the armada that's been assembled in the last 3 weeks. And I think we have the force that's necessary, but I think the president realizes that it could be messy and would far prefer to have those cordial conversations with Maduro like he did last week to coax him to leave power instead of force him power with that American armada that's assembled.
Yeah, and whether or not Maduro sees those same 3 weeks and says, well, the polls in America aren't going to change, I'll sit it out, hype videos or not. General, Admiral, thank you both. Appreciate it.
He is heading to Mount Airy Resorts and is scheduled to speak at 6 p.m. His speech will focus on the economy and rising costs, major topics he addressed when he campaigned across, streaming the president's entire speech without record lows over there, Logan.
You don't want to know.
Cold.
All right, let's take a look at your local headlines.
Here on this Tuesday morning, I'm Tom Williams. In just a few hours, Air Force One set to land in Northeast PA. The president is heading to Mount Airy Resort in the Poconos and is set to speak at 6 p.m. His remarks are expected to focus on the economy and rising costs, which is a major topic that he addressed when he campaigned for the presidency across Pennsylvania last year. Area Republicans are excited for the visit.
I don't know of any sitting president having come to Monroe County in years past, so it's really big. But Monroe County was really pivotal in the election in 2024. Only 2 seats went from Democrat to Republican of the 425 in Congress, and both of those were in Monroe County.
The president's visit also bringing heightened security. State police are warning drivers to expect backups on routes 611 and 196 and other roads in the Mount Pocono area. And remember to stick with 2822 News as we bring you the latest coverage of the president's visit to our area, both on air and online throughout the day. We will stream Trump's full speech with no ads on our 2822 Now app and also social media pages. As the economy tops the agenda for Trump's visit here, it's also top of mind for his administration. Bradley Blackburn explains a huge bailout for farmers was announced to offset the president's tariffs.
The economy takes center stage as President Trump heads to Pennsylvania one day after he announced a $12 billion aid package for farmers hit hard by his tariffs and trade war with China.
This relief will provide much needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops.
The White House says farmers can apply soon for payments that will go out in late February, funded by tariffs revenue.
A one-time payment for farmers is cold comfort for all the headache and anxiety and losses they've endured because of Donald Trump's trade war.
Also Monday, the president appeared to walk back last week's comments indicating he'd be open to publicly releasing the footage of a second strike on an alleged Venezuelan drug boat from early September that killed 2 survivors.
Whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem.
Now deferring to his defense secretary.
Whatever Pete Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
According to the matter, Hegseth, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio are set to brief 8 top lawmakers on a range of issues later today. Meanwhile, President Trump continues a Ukraine peace deal.
We want to see if we can stop the killing.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky discussed the U.S.-backed peace plan with European allies Monday, though provisions calling for Ukraine to cede land to Russia remain a key sticking point.
And that takes us to our Instapoll question of the day. Amid the ongoing conflict in the Caribbean, do you think the U.S. should attack sites within Venezuela? You can vote on our Instapoll by scanning the QR code on your screen on 2822news.com or the drop-down menu on our app. After you do that, head over to our Facebook page and leave a comment about why you chose that option, and we might run it in one of our newscasts. All right, let's now switch to the cold. Logan with us here, and yeah, not so many of us want to hear about it, but I guess it's your job. You got to tell us.
Yeah, right. Talking about the cold weather, Tom, the Arctic air that's been in place. Right now, temperatures pretty much across the board into the teens and 20s. I have 23 in Lehighton, 16 for Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, 15 in Tunkhannock, and currently into the lower teens still across our northern tier. As we look at those winds, they're still pretty light, generally 5, maybe 10 miles per hour, but still when you factor in those temperatures with the winds, wind chill values still into the single digits for some areas at this time. We do have high pressure that's been in control here with a little bit of sunshine this morning, but now we're going to start to see more clouds kind of increasing as we continue throughout the afternoon. We do have a weak disturbance you see off to the west, and that will try to give us a few snow showers a little bit later today. But Tom, we're going to talk more about how things trend here, especially with that system for tomorrow, how much snow we'll see. Details coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Logan. Well, the area's largest electricity supplier wants to raise its rates, and you have a chance to weigh in. Scranton hosted the first of a series of public hearings last night. PPL is requesting a hike that would cost the average customer about another $12 a month. PPL says the $356 million hike would allow it to improve the grid, reduce outages, and improve customer service. The rate hike requests would not kick in next July, but it must first be approved by the PUC. And many who testified yesterday say any increase would strain already tight budgets.
I eat ham sandwiches for lunch nearly every day. I make free coffee at work. We're all living on the edge already down here in the fading middle class. How much more blood do you want to squeeze from us?
This request is meant to build a stronger, smarter, more resilient grid in the face of challenging weather and other energy changes.
And several more hearings will be held across the area in the next couple of weeks. You can find a list of dates, times, and locations at 2822news.com. A bizarre theft with a hefty price tag under investigation in Wyoming County. Police are searching for the thieves who are stealing heavy-duty trucks in the Tunkhannock area. Police say the 3 dump trucks valued at nearly $300,000 were swiped last month from Sherwood Freightliner, Western Star, and Isuzu. Anybody with information on the thefts is asked to call police. A police department in Lackawanna County making sure porch pirates don't ruin the spirit of the season. Residents can now have their deliveries sent directly to the Dixon City Police Station. The department will accept any package, big or small, and is highlighting the safety of their building and parking lot to help make the holidays less stressful.
I'm hoping it goes well. I'm hoping people realize they don't have to have everything sent to their home and shoved on their porch and cross their fingers that it's going to be there when they get home. If you're worried about your package being there, you can gladly send it here. We will hold on to it for you, and you can come pick it up at your leisure. It takes a peace of mind during these crazy times of the holidays.
Packages can be picked up during regular business hours with an ID that matches the name on the delivery now through December 19th. A healthcare provider expanding in Scranton. The Wright Center is building a more than $5 million health center next door to its existing location on North Main Avenue. The nonprofit that aims to provide affordable care will demolish its current location and use that for parking. The new space includes 10 exam rooms, 4 dental, and 4 behavioral health treatment rooms. That project should be complete by the end of next year. A new era beginning for the Penn State football team. The university introduced the new head coach of the Nittany Lions yesterday, Matt Campbell. He's the former head coach of Iowa State and previously served as head coach of Toledo. During his remarks, the Ohio native said the biggest reason he likes the Nittany Lions is because of some special Pennsylvanians.
My great-grandfather who worked in the coal mines, my grandparents who worked in Carmichael's, Pennsylvania, and all you heard around those family discussions was Coach Paterno and the toughness and the character of the Penn State football program.
The current interim coach, Terry Smith, will stay on as Campbell's top assistant. Well, the state capitol looking festive for the holidays. Governor Shapiro, his wife Lori, and other state leaders officially lit the Capitol Christmas tree in the rotunda last night. The 25-foot Douglas fir came from a farm in Lehighton, Carbon County, and is the tallest Capitol tree in more than a decade. It features more than 2,000 lights and 1,700 ornaments, all handmade by Pennsylvania children and seniors.
From the ornaments to the decorations, each passing generation makes the Christmas tree even better, an even greater and more powerful symbol of joy and of light and of community.
This year's theme was Timeless Traditions. It honored the hands and hearts behind Pennsylvania's craftspeople and community creators. What evidence is permissible in an accused killer's trial? That's what lawyers are deciding in the case of Luigi Mangione a year after his arrest. We'll get details on what could make or break the case coming up.
Now.
A court hearing continues over evidence in the case against Luigi Mangione. He's the man accused of murdering healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Prosecutors released new images of what they say was found when Mangione was arrested in Pennsylvania exactly 1 year ago today. Bradley Blackburn is tracking the latest.
Mangione was back in a New York City courtroom Monday as attorneys argued over whether evidence can be used in his upcoming murder trial. He's accused of shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a Manhattan sidewalk last December. It was 1 year ago that Mangione was arrested in a Pennsylvania McDonald's after a multi-day manhunt when people recognized him and called 911.
I have a customer here that some other customers were suspicious of, that he looked like the CEO shooter.
For the first time, prosecutors are releasing images of what they say was found with Mangione during the arrest, including a 3D printed gun, silencer, bullets, and pages from a notebook that appear to show plans for a getaway and ways to stay undetected. In court, a police officer testified that they searched Mangione's belongings only after he was under arrest and wanted to make sure he didn't have a bomb. But Mangione's attorneys argue police should have had a search warrant and say he wasn't read his Miranda rights before he was questioned. They want the evidence excluded from the state trial.
If the police officers legitimately and in good faith believe that there's a substantial risk to themselves or the general public, they have every right, every constitutional right to go into that backpack and conduct a warrantless search.
During the confrontation, officers can be heard on tape discussing whether or not they need a search warrant to look through the items. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all charges. He is also facing federal charges where prosecutors are seeking the death penalty.
And that was Bradley Blackburn. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court seems likely to expand presidential control over independent federal agencies, signaling support for Trump's firing of board members. The court's conservative majority suggested in arguments yesterday it would overturn the 90-year-old precedent. Lawyers for the Trump administration are defending the president's decision to fire Federal Trade Commission member Rebecca Slaughter without cause. The court already allowed Slaughter and agency members to be ousted from their jobs, even as their legal challenges continue. 12 former FBI agents who were fired after kneeling during a racial justice protest in 2022 are suing to get their jobs back. The agents knelt during a protest over the death of George Floyd. They insist their decision was intended to de-escalate a dangerous situation, but FBI Director Kash Patel fired them in September, claiming their conduct was unprofessional and lacked impartiality. The FBI previously cleared the agents of any wrongdoing, and the Justice Department's Inspector General agreed. People in Japan are on standby for aftershocks after a massive earthquake rocked the country last night. Nobody died in the tremor, but at least 34 were hurt by falling objects. A small tsunami also surged across the coast because of the rumble. Officials now are assessing the damage. And right after the self-driving cars expanded to the Keystone State, Waymo is pausing production of its robo-taxi software and issuing a voluntary recall. Reports show the vehicles don't stop for school buses, which potentially puts... Waymo has more than 1,500 robo-taxis operating in major U.S. cities, including Philadelphia. The recall won't necessarily pull cars from the road, but will instead see them updated with new software. And despite controversies that temporarily took it off the air, Jimmy Kimmel Live is now set to continue broadcasting for another year. Kimmel has signed a new deal with ABC. It comes after a turbulent year for the show when it was suspended temporarily for comments about the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The new contract keeps the show running on the network through May of 2027. And Paramount has launched a hostile takeover bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. It comes just days after Netflix announced a deal to acquire Warner Brothers. Unlike Netflix, Paramount is also offering to buy the WB's cable TV assets, which includes CNN. Paramount CEO says the latest offer is worth about $18 billion more than the competing bid from Netflix. Netflix's CEO has responded to that, saying they are confident their deal is done and they're happy with it. And he says Paramount's move was to be expected.
This is Powerball. Good evening, America.
Jackpot continues to grow after no big winner in last night's drawing. The numbers 8, 32, 52, 56, and 64 with a Powerball of 23. Wednesday's estimated jackpot nearing $1 billion, now at $930 million. It's the 7th largest Powerball jackpot. Coming right back with a look at your forecast, including that cold weather. It's a 1-2 punch, Logan, on top of the cold today.
Yeah.
Talking about some snow for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're really in the thick of winter already, and it's still early December. We'll take a live look right now at our Pottsville camera. We've been having a clear sky overnight with high pressure control. With that clear sky, the snowpack on the ground, the light winds that just allowed those temperatures to just bottom out this morning into the single digits and even below zero values. With some sunshine, at least it looks nice, but still pretty cold out there at this time. Enjoy the sun this morning. Clouds start to move back in here for the second half of the day. 16 right now, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and Mount Pocono at 18, 19 for Williamsport, 16 Lewisburg, and 20 currently in Selinsgrove. Those winds going to be out of the south and southwest today, anywhere around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Still, with that little bit of wind, those wind chill values are into the single digits still for some areas. As we look at satellite, you can certainly see more clouds off to our west. Those will continue to kind of push back in here and give more of a mostly cloudy sky, especially later on this afternoon. But also looking at a little bit of some light snow, especially over Ohio. This should break up a little bit as it gets closer to us, but nonetheless, a few flurries, few snow showers will be possible a little bit later on today as high pressure starts to move off to the east. Also want to show you this next system. This is going to be the clipper that we're watching for tomorrow. This is currently over North Dakota and Montana, and that's what we'll be tracking here over the next 24 hours. Right now, currently into the 20s for many spots and teens. Our highs today really only reaching into the mid to upper 20s this afternoon, still below average. Typically this time of year we're in the lower 40s. Temperatures for tonight falling back into the low and mid 20s. With the clouds moving back in, it's not going to allow those temperatures to be as frigid as what we had this morning. Still maybe a few spots into the teens, but more isolated. We still have winter weather advisories in effect here for Carbon, Monroe, Sullivan, northern Lycoming, and northern Clinton counties, and that's out ahead of our next system that's pushing in for tomorrow. National Weather Service in Binghamton still waiting to see how they want to issue some of those warnings for northeastern PA. Looks like the start time for this system will be generally tomorrow morning, once again just in time for the morning commute. Snow, especially for the higher elevations, more snow to a mix for the valley locations, and the snow/wintry mix pretty much wrapping up here as we go into tomorrow afternoon. But still be mindful, this is not a huge system, but still will be impactful just in time for those commute time frames, and especially with these temperatures that we've had. The ground is frozen, and we'll be looking at any even just minor accumulation at the onset that cause some issues out there. As we look at futurecast, so as we continue throughout the afternoon, a few flurries, perhaps a few snow showers possible. Some areas still pretty dry. Then as we get into tonight, we'll look for a mostly cloudy sky. Looking at the time frame of this tomorrow, I think this model's still maybe an hour or two a little bit early compared to the rest of the guidance, but you can still see snow breaking out for tomorrow morning, and there will be potential for some mixing, especially for some of our warmer valleys into the Wyoming Valley, and this will continue into the early afternoon. Then off and on rain, snow showers here as we go into the rest of the day, and still even some lake effect activity for Wednesday night and into Thursday. Snowfall outlook, still thinking more of a mixing situation here with this event compared to last week, coating to an inch or two for the Susquehanna River Valley, Wyoming Valley, and even parts of Bradford County too. With more of the higher elevations, 2 to 4 inches, and that even extends into the higher elevations for central Pennsylvania. So for today, increasing clouds, an afternoon snow shower, and then for tonight, mostly cloudy, not as cold with lows into the mid-20s. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. So for tomorrow, on weather alert as we have temperatures in the upper 30s. Then for Thursday, looking for additional snow showers, perhaps even a squall. And then for Friday, it looks pretty dry, and still watching the potential for some snow here as we get into this weekend. Still a few days out, watching to see how things kind of line up. But regardless, Tom, we're into the 20s as we head into Sunday and Monday. So yeah, the Arctic air has been making its name known here across northeastern central Pennsylvania. But yeah, it feels more like January than early December.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Logan. Well, it is the most wonderful time of the year, despite the weather, and we're making it even better with the 12 days of streaming sweepstakes. The contest begins today. Here's how you enter. First, download the 2822 Now app on your Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV. It is free to download and free to stream. Launch the app, find the QR code, scan it, and you are in. Just enter your information to win some prizes, including $1,500 in groceries from SureSave. No purchase necessary. And remember, you can only enter on the 2822 Now app. Coming up, two sisters with a heart of gold. Their mission to make sure area children have a toy this holiday season. That's coming up in our Here's to You Kids segment. Well, many of us are filling those holiday wish lists for loved ones this month, but some are focused on giving gifts to other children they don't even know. That's what two young sisters have been focused on for months now. 2822's Mark Hiller introduces us to them in this week's Here's to You, Kid.
Look at this one.
Whoa. 10-year-old Lily Wallace and her 8-year-old sister Alice seem like Santa's little helpers, stacking and packing toys at Watsontown Baptist Church, where their father is pastor.
That's never gonna fit. Oh yeah, we made it work.
They are behind what's billed as Two Sisters Toy Drive, an effort to provide less fortunate kids with new unwrapped toys for Christmas. Lily got the idea to do her own drive when she was just 5. She spotted a woman who had just received toys from another toy-giving effort and asked her father about it.
He said because some people can't afford Christmas presents. And I said, I want to do something about it.
But the pandemic put her plan on pause.
So Daddy said next year, hoping I'd forget about it. The next year I'm like, are we going to do that toy drive thing? And then that's how we started it.
When she came up with the idea in 2020, I was secretly hoping she would forget about it by 21 because it's a lot of work. But as the girls get older and they're able to do more and understand, they're involved in everything that we do.
Two Sisters Toy Drive partners with several central Pennsylvania businesses to collect donated toys.
Perfect timing.
And she sticks the landing.
As crowded as the shelves look, they become depleted after Lily and Alice put together bags and boxes of toys, filling each of the more than 5 dozen children's wish lists from Williamsport to Watsontown and several other communities in between.
It's really fun to get presents, but it's even more fun to give them.
The girls have seen the gratitude when families come to Watsontown Baptist Church to pick up the toys.
I remember one year this lady was so happy she almost cried that we could help her out. We gave her the gift, she happy cried.
The girls are getting an early lesson in charity, appreciation, and purpose.
Oftentimes kids are so consumed with their own list and their own wants, and for these girls it's about others. And I mean, what more could you ask for as a parent?
It makes me feel really happy knowing that I'm not going to be the only kid having a smile on my face during Christmas.
Here's to you, Lily and Alice. Mark Hiller, 2822 News.
And Two Sisters Toy Drive has collections today and Saturday. You can learn about helping with a toy or monetary donation by visiting 2822news.com. And if you'd like to nominate someone to be a Here's to You Kid, let Mark know at 2822news.com. Coming right back with another look at our forecast, which does have that snow for tomorrow.
All right, Tom, still increasing clouds for the rest of the day. Maybe a snow shower or two later on. Temperatures in the mid-20s. And then for tomorrow, we'll have that clipper push through, a mix of rain or actually snow and a wintry mix, rather, more than mixing for the valleys. Higher elevations, mostly snow. Temperatures in the upper 30s. And then for Thursday, looking for still a few snow showers on the backside of the system, maybe even a snow squall possible. Friday looks pretty quiet. Saturday to Sunday, still potential maybe for some snow there. We're still kind of a few days out at this point. But regardless, turning colder once again. Sunday and Monday are highs only in the mid-20s. So it was a chilly start this morning. We broke some records, and at least the afternoon 20s is a little warmer. So
could be a scary commute tomorrow morning, too, depending on where you go.
Keep that in mind. Yep.
Okay. One town getting rid of its very own Grinch when we come back. Alice. It's not quite Whoville, but Missouri has a cynical pest. Police apprehended him just in time because he's an unwanted guest. His hatred for Christmas, though, not quite clear. Here's more from Jessica Shear.
This story begins in Parsons on December 3rd. Stop me if this is a story you've once heard. Cherry on Top ice cream shop had a misanthropic intruder. The damage he did couldn't be any ruder.
He kind of ransacked the place and ate some ice cream, taste tested it, all sorts of things there.
The suspect stood out with his furry green hair. Even pictures with Santa at the local hardware store he couldn't spare.
We got a call, and that's how we met him up there.
But the Grinch was arrested, such a grouch and mean-hearted.
There was actually a group of citizens already chasing him. That's how it started.
Destruction of dessert property are among his charges input, unlawful use of sprinkles, and slowly fleeing from police on foot. He's charged with excessive grumbling too, but Christmas won't be ruined thanks to Parsons' Men and Women in Blue.
He's just had a couple of requests on no Christmas music in the jail. He doesn't want any holiday spirit at all.
But who cares what he wants? Parsons PD plays Christmas songs for all. $1,000 cash only is his bail that's been set. Donations to the Shop with a Cop program can help release him, you bet.
Under the Parsons Police Department Legacy Fund, from now till Sunday, you can donate donations online as well.
Here's to hoping the Grinch's heart will grow 3 sizes one day and swell, and that he won't ruin any more holiday cheer. Reporting from Parsons, I'm Jessica Shear.
I think they got to get the Grinch some pants first.
I was wondering if he has some green handcuffs too.
Gianna joins us now.
Locked up just like that. All right, turning to some top trending stories this morning. If you ever wanted to track down Santa, we have the perfect opportunity for you. NORAD's control center near Colorado needs volunteers for Operation Santa Tracker. It's at the Peterson Space Force Base in Colorado Springs. They say around 1,000 people help make it happen by answering phones in many languages and using special technology to track down the jolly old man like radar and satellites. It all started back in 1955 when a newspaper ad misprinted a phone number for a Santa hotline, and a colonel decided to help.
I remember that was a big thing when I was a kid. The NORAD
right,
thing.
trying to figure out where Santa is on the map.
Tracking him.
Yeah,
it is pretty cool.
Getting to see that insight is neat.
I'm glad it's still going on. With 1 month to go before the 2026 Pennsylvania Farm Show kicks off, the Dairymen's Association revealed next year's special flavors. 3 flavors, that is. The red, white, and blue milkshake flights will feature strawberry, vanilla, and blue raspberry flavors. Of course, the America 250 PA flavors are meant to celebrate the 250th birthday of America, which we will celebrate next July. Can't wait for that. Love those milkshakes. They are terrific.
I
But
know.
I'm going to go for a chocolate one. That's my favorite.
I was gonna say, I've had strawberry, I've had vanilla, I've never had a blue raspberry milkshake.
But that does sound good,
slushy,
though, right?
Right? Sounds different. All right, Crocs is taking us back to see the SpongeBob gang in Bikini Bottom. The SpongeBob and Patrick Clog returns with a new pair featuring Squidward. The new Squidward shoe features his full face on the front of it. Crocs releases the SpongeBob collection on Thursday, and they'll cost you about $80.
Need a plankton in there. So enjoy today.
That's right, some Krabby Patties.
Yeah.
Where are those missing?
Correct.
Oh, look at those. Have like an interesting SpongeBob impressions.
Love that show.
Maybe
One of
they'll
the
come
best,
out with
one of the
some,
best written shows on TV. It's more for adults than for kids. All right, let's check in for Logan right now. Do you like SpongeBob?
I've seen a few episodes. I'm not the biggest fan, but I think I want to watch it more because Tom's doing those impersonations. And that's why I want to watch more of it, is because Tom's doing all these impersonations.
Cue the Barney Crocs next.
Oh my gosh, yeah. How about it? They get so creative. Look at the forecast here. Temperatures that were the big story this morning. We had numbers into the single digits, even below zero. Right now, still 15 Montrose, 12 Towanda, 19 in Honesdale, currently at 20 in Bloomsburg, and 18 right now in Pontsville. And those winds have been generally out of the south, anywhere around 5, maybe 10 miles per hour, but not too strong. But still, when you factor in a little bit of the wind with those temperatures, wind chills still for some spots are into the single digits like Mount Pocono, Pontsville, and even Montrose, showing a wind chill of 4 degrees. As we look at satellite and radar, you can see quiet conditions across the region. We've had a clear sky overnight, and there still will be the chance for a few snow showers a little bit later into the afternoon. Weak system pushing through, expecting it to break up a little bit as it gets closer to us. Tom and Gianna, we're going to talk about another system pushing through for tomorrow. That will give us a little bit of accumulating snow. Details on what to expect in just a few minutes.
Okay, can't say we look forward to it, but we'll see.
We don't know what to expect.
Yeah, right?
All right, Leonardo DiCaprio's latest film leads the Golden Globe nominations with 9. The Globes is the first major award show of the season and honors both movies and TV.
Gwen Baumgardner reports this year it has added a new category, though, podcast.
I need a weapon, man. Paul Thomas Anderson's action satire One Battle After Another received 9 Golden Globe nominations, the most of any film, with acting nods going to stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn, and newcomer Chase Infinity.
Do you like the hair?
It's vying for Best Motion Picture, musical or comedy against Blue Moon, Begonia, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, and Nouvelle Vague. Failing to make the cut was Wicked for Good, although stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were both recognized for their work.
I think this was probably one of the bigger snubs of the morning. The second film wasn't received as well critically than the first film.
What the hell going on? On the drama side, Ryan Coogler's blockbuster Sinners earned 7 nominations, including one for star Michael B. Jordan. The film goes up against Frankenstein, Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, The Secret Agent, and Sentimental Value.
New this year is a Best Podcast category with Call Her Daddy, Smartless, and the Mel Robbins podcast among those receiving nominations.
Turning to television, HBO's The White Lotus led all TV shows with 6 nominations. It faces off in the drama category against The Diplomat, The Pit, and 3 Apple TV series, Pluribus, Severance, and Slow Horses. For Best Musical or Comedy Series, the nominees are Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders in the Building, and The Studio. Comedian Nikki Glazer is set to return as host. The Golden Globes air live January 11th on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
And that'll be here before we know it.
Great. Love Nikki Glazer, but if you ever want to see something that's really funny, just go on YouTube and see Ricky Gervais when he used to host that show.
Yeah.
Oh, he would skewer the actors and actresses there. Just fabulous.
Maybe
He's
something to bring
funniest
back
man on the planet, Ricky. All right, looking to hire a maid. Why not buy a robot instead?
Yeah, why not? The future of robot helpers is here, but its price tag is a little high. A look at some of the AI chore assistants when we return.
Now.
Well, AI has written our emails and driven our cars.
But as our Ite Hode reports, it's now coming for our chores.
In this small laundromat in San Francisco, the future is unfolding. On a typical day, Philip Charette, a laundry worker, handles hundreds of pounds of clothes, enough to make anyone's head spin.
The longest and most tedious part is folding the actual articles of clothing.
But today, he can take a load off with a helping hand, straight out of a sci-fi movie. Meet Isaac, a robot equipped with cameras and sensors that can sort, fold, and stack piles of clothes with surprising precision.
It still blows my mind to think, hey, every day I get up and I go to work with a robot.
Philip works for Tumble, a San Francisco-based laundry service that gets your clothes done in 4 hours. Now, with a little help from Isaac. He's a tad slow, about 2 minutes per item, but Philip says he's still learning.
You get a lot of people watching you?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people. He really is a celebrity in his own right.
And Isaac is just the beginning. Neo, a humanoid by Palo Alto startup 1X, is set to hit the market in 2026. Automated helpers are taking the grunt work out of chores, with a global household robot market expected to soar from $12 billion in 2024 to $71 billion by 2034.
It's picking up the toys.
Condorusas, the co-founder of Weave Robotics, the company behind Isaac, says these domestic robots are giving people something money can't buy: freedom.
We want to make sure that people don't have to spend time doing things that they don't want to do.
The price tag, tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the
Question. Can you do fitted sheets?
Fitted sheets, oh, with the elastic band. God, I can't do those even.
And while Isaac has a few wrinkles to iron out, one thing's for sure: he'll never fold under pressure.
Gianna and I are both annoyed watching.
Both
how
agreed. A little
slow
too
he is.
slow. It's a pain,
Too
but I
slow.
think I'll do it instead.
I have one speed, it's fast, and that's just way too slow.
Get it done. Throw it in the drawer.
Besides the cold, we have some snow in our forecast. We'll talk to Logan about that straight ahead.
Welcome back, everyone, here on this Tuesday morning. Out the door, it's been a cold, frigid start. We've had temperatures into the single digits and even below zero. Live look right now from our montage camera. We had some sunshine this morning. Clouds going to start to move back in here as we go into the rest of the day. So enjoy a little bit of sun that we have this morning. Temperatures right now, 16 Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, 18 for Mount Pocono, 25 Lehighton, 18 in Pottsville, and also pretty much teens and lower 20s showing up into central Pennsylvania. The wind's pretty much out of the south here, anywhere from around 5 to 10 miles per hour. But still, when you factor in the winds with the temperatures, those wind chills in some spots still into the single digits. As we look at satellite, you can certainly see more clouds starting to push over parts of central Pennsylvania, and still a decent amount of sun here into eastern PA. But nonetheless, you notice the clouds will continue to move from west to east, and we'll also be looking for a weak disturbance that's pushing through too. This is bringing some light snow shower activity. Still has to work its way through some dry air, but nonetheless, a few snow showers will be possible a little bit later on here for today. Then as we look for another wide view here over the Midwest, you can see over around North Dakota is where we have our next area of low pressure, and that's going to be the clipper that we're tracking for tomorrow that will bring us more accumulating snow. As we look at temperatures tonight, it won't be as cold, especially with more clouds rolling in. We'll look for our lows to fall into the lower and mid-20s. Few isolated spots, of course, in the Poconos will be into the teens, but a lot better than where we were this morning. As we look at the winter weather advisories in effect here for Carbon, Monroe, Sullivan, northern Lycoming, and northern Clinton counties so far. National Weather Service in Binghamton still kind of deciding where they want to issue those, especially as there will be a little bit more mixing potentially with this system. As we look at kind of the time frame for tomorrow, we'll look for that snow to break out here between 6 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Granted, we have central Pennsylvania first, going to see that during that time period, and then a little bit later the farther east. So mostly snow for high elevations, but it will be more of a snow changing to a mix for some of the warmer valleys, and then that snow / wintry mix, all the precipitation kind of wrapping up here by tomorrow afternoon. So timing everything out with Futurecast, rest of the day still looks pretty quiet. You'll notice more clouds pushing in, and there still will be the chance maybe for a few snow showers or a few flurries. Heading into tonight, we'll have a mostly cloudy sky, and then heading out the door tomorrow morning, this particular model, our in-house model, but generally showing the snow breaking out just in time for that morning commute, and those temperatures still will be into the 20s. So any untreated surfaces will be slick and icy. This continues right into the afternoon time frame, but you notice some mixing though for some of the warmer valleys, so there will be the potential for maybe a little bit of rain or freezing rain mixing in. And then still on the backside of this system, we'll get some lake effect flurries and snow showers, and that will continue for Wednesday night and into Thursday. Snowfall outlook, general coating to an inch or two. Some of the warmer valleys that will likely see mixing, higher elevations for the Poconos, parts of the northern tier, and into central Pennsylvania, general 2 to 4 inches of snow expected there. And I still think there could be a few isolated spots, especially in around the corners of Sullivan, Wyoming, and also Luzerne County, that could see some isolated higher amounts. Northern tier 26, New Milford, 29 for Tunkhannock, Poconos for today, 23 for Moscow, 29 for Jim Thorpe. Southern tier 28, Pottsville, also upper 20s for Tremont. Susquehanna River Valley upper 20s to lower 30s, and our Valley City highs today will be into the mid-20s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. So on weather alert for tomorrow, highs in the upper 30s, and still some lake effect flurries, snow showers, and even perhaps a squall possible for Thursday. Friday looking for more clouds and sun, and then Tom and Gianna, maybe another chance for some snow here as we get into Saturday night to Sunday, but certainly cold once again by early next week with temperatures into the 20s. So certainly has been an active weather pattern. Last week we had the Arctic air and rounds of snow, and kind of similar here as well for this week, guys. So certainly busy.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Logan, thank you. In our entertainment news, we just showed you the nominees for the Golden Globes. Now, event organizers giving us a behind-the-scenes look at the menu.
And a new Broadway musical is taking fashion notes from the 1700s. Gwen Baumgartner once again has your eye on entertainment.
Zootopia 2 is seeing a stampede of success.
Greg, we talked about that.
The animated sequel has set box office records for the highest international opening for an animated film, and now earning 2 Golden Globe nominations. The film's director is planning a cast celebration.
This is a movie about togetherness, so what better way to celebrate than all together? I think that's a big part of it.
The Golden Globes will air January 11th on CBS and Paramount+. Golden Globe organizers unveiled the event's curated luxury menu courtesy of the chef behind Nobu Restaurants.
So on the plate he has the miso black cod, he has his trio of nigiri, and also the yellowtail with jalapenos topping it. The updates to this year, the individual caviar cup with a potato base and the lobster salad.
Nominees will also be greeted with champagne on the red carpet, in total 1,500 mini bottles. From the runway to Broadway, fashion designer Christian Cohen is giving an inside look at the musical The Queen of Versailles, starring Kristen Chenoweth. The designer took inspiration from Marie Antoinette.
It was amazing because on one hand I got to do my creative expression within fashion for Kristen's character, but then I really got to exercise my skills in comprehension of going through old paintings, going through literature.
Based on a documentary of the same name, The Queen of Versailles follows a couple's desire to build the largest private home in the U.S.
I will never stop building this house!
The musical is playing now on Broadway. That's Ryan Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Using a snapshot of the past to snap pictures of the present.
And why some people are turning to analog cameras to capture the moment when we return. If you're on the hunt for new tech to finish your holiday shopping, maybe consider something old.
Younger people are driving a spike in interest in film photography and those digital cameras from the mid-2000s. Jared Hill has a snapshot of the trend and how the industry taking notice.
It has a sound-activated shutter.
In search of the perfect frame.
Say cheese. Isn't that crazy?
Is cool.
No hand on the button. It takes a picture.
Photographers are once again eyeing film.
There's something to be said about just owning your own image.
Dominic Lewis expanded his Brooklyn-based film photography store in 2025 as interest in film cameras started to grow, driven in part by Gen Z.
Keep your negatives. Negatives are very important.
It's all kind of new.
Ethan Teague is getting his second ever roll of film developed.
The first film I shot was definitely not super great.
Still learning, Teague says he likes how the finite frames in film compared to his phone make each picture matter.
You're more selective and intentional with your shots.
Sure, you can take great photos on your phone, but you may also be spending that same time taking your photo being bombarded with incoming calls and messages.
Andrew Langston, editor-at-large for consumer tech website CNET, says the newfound zest for analog photography may also be a response to the perfection of smartphone pictures and the growth of AI.
Instead, people are kind of going, no, we want the authenticity of imagery again.
And companies are taking note. In 2025, Kodak launched new direct-to-consumer film for the first time in over a decade. E-commerce sites are also filled with refurbished point-and-shoot digital cameras from the 2000s. Ethan's camera was his granddad's, handed to him by his mom.
It was like a passion that her and her dad shared, and it's kind of a passion that we share as well.
Putting life in full focus.
That graph is showing you.
Tracking those cold temperatures, we'll be right back. One last check of the forecast.
All right, so rest of the day, increasing clouds. A few snow showers possible, a few flurries later today, highs in the mid-20s. And then for tonight, we're not as cold, temperatures into the 20s. And then for tomorrow, we'll have about snow and even a little bit of wintry mix, especially for the lower elevations. Higher elevations, mainly snow. So on weather alert for tomorrow. Thursday, still a few snow showers on the backside and even perhaps a squall possible. And then for Friday, more clouds and sun, guys. We're a lot colder here by Sunday, Monday. Temperatures into the 20s. So
It'll be an interesting commute tomorrow morning.
Yeah, keep that in mind.
Yes, keep
Take
that.
your time.
Yeah, be cautious. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
2822 News at Noon starts right now.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Gianna Galli. In just a few hours, Air Force One is set to land in Northeast PA. President Trump is heading to Mount Airy Resort in the Poconos and is set to speak at 6 o'clock tonight. His speech is expected to focus on the economy and rising costs, which is a major topic he addressed when he campaigned here across Pennsylvania. Area Republicans are excited for the presidential visit.
I don't know of any sitting president having come to Monroe County in years past, so it's really big. But Monroe County was really pivotal in the election in 2024. Only 2 seats went from Democrat to Republican of the 425 in Congress, and both of those were in Monroe County.
The president's visit is also bringing heightened security to the area. State police are warning drivers to expect backups on Route 611, 196, and other roads around the Mount Pocono area. And you can still register for the event, but remember to stick with 2822 News as we bring you the latest coverage of President Trump's visit to NEPA, both on air and online all throughout the day. We will be streaming Trump's full speech with no ads for free on our 2822 Now app, as well as our social media pages. Well, as the economy tops the agenda for Trump's visit here, it also is the top of mind for his administration. Bradley Blackburn explains a huge bailout for farmers was announced to offset the president's tariffs.
The economy takes center stage as President Trump heads to Pennsylvania one day after he announced a $12 billion aid package for farmers hit hard by his tariffs and trade war with China.
This relief will provide much needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops.
The White House says farmers can apply soon for payments that will go out in late February, funded by tariffs revenue.
A one-time payment for farmers is cold comfort for all the headache and anxiety and losses they've endured because of Donald Trump's trade war.
Also Monday, the president appeared to walk back last week's comments indicating he'd be open to publicly releasing the footage of a second strike on an alleged Venezuelan drug boat from early September that killed 2 survivors.
Whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem.
Now deferring to his defense secretary.
Whatever Pete Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
According to 2 sources familiar with the matter, Hegseth, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio are set to brief 8 top lawmakers on a range of issues later today. Meanwhile, President Trump continues his push for a Russia-Ukraine peace deal.
We want to see if we can stop the killing.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky discussed the U.S.-backed peace plan with European allies Monday, though provisions calling for Ukraine to cede land to Russia remain a key sticking point.
And that takes us to our Insta poll question of the day. We're asking, amid the ongoing conflict in the Caribbean, do you think the U.S. should attack sites within Venezuela? You can vote on our Insta poll by scanning the QR code on your screen, heading to 2822news.com, or at the drop-down menu on our app. And after you do that, head to our Facebook page, leave a comment there about why you chose the option you chose. It might be featured in one of our newscasts throughout the day. Well, turning to another of our top stories, wicked wintry weather. Let's get a check of the forecast now with meteorologist Logan Westrow, where we're calling for even more snow, Logan.
Yeah, that's right, Gian. It certainly has been an active start to the week, especially with the Arctic air today. We've had temperatures this morning pretty much into the single digits, if not below zero. Still pretty cold out there right now at 16 in Montrose, 19 Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, 18 Mount Pocono, and currently at 21 in Sealands Grove. Winds have picked up a little bit, 5, maybe 10 miles per hour, but still with just a little bit of the wind. When you factor in the temperatures and the winds, those wind chill values right now pretty much at 5 for Montrose, 12 Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and currently at 6 in Mount Pocono. As we look at satellite radar, we've had high pressure and control last night. That gave us a clear sky and allowed those temperatures to really drop overnight. And you notice that weak disturbance that's over the Great Lakes. This is going to try to push into our region, try to weaken a little bit here, but nonetheless, a few flurries, few snow showers possible this afternoon. And then, Gianna, we're talking about another system here for tomorrow. That will bring us the potential for certainly accumulating snow across really most of northeastern central Pennsylvania. We'll talk more about those specifics coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, so more of it. We'll see you soon, Logan. Thank you. The area's largest electricity supplier wants to raise its rates, and you have a chance to weigh in on that. Scranton hosted the first of a series of public hearings last night. PPL is requesting a hike that would cost the average customer about another $12 a month. PPL says the $356 million hike would allow it to improve the grid, reduce outages, and improve customer service. The rate hike requires request would not kick in until next July, but it must first be approved by the PUC. And many who testified say any increase would strain already tight budgets.
I eat ham sandwiches for lunch nearly every day. I make free coffee at work. We're all living on the edge already down here in the fading middle class. How much more blood do you want to squeeze from us?
This request is meant to build a stronger, smarter, more resilient grid in the face of challenging weather and other energy changes.
And several more hearings will be held in the next couple of weeks. You can find a list of those dates, times, and locations at 2822news.com. A bizarre theft with a hefty price tag is under investigation in Wyoming County. Police are looking for the thieves who were stealing heavy-duty trucks in the Tunkhannock area. Police say 3 dump trucks valued at $280,000 were swiped last month from Sherwood Freightliner, Western Star, and Isuzu. Anyone with any information is asked to contact police. A police department in Lackawanna County is making sure porch pirates don't ruin the spirit of Christmas. Residents can now have their deliveries sent directly to the Dixon City Police Station. The department will accept any package, big or small, and is highlighting the safety of their building and parking lot to help make the holidays a little less stressful.
I'm hoping it goes well. I'm hoping people realize they don't have to have everything sent to their home and shoved on their porch and cross their fingers that it's going to be there when they get home. If you're worried about your package being there, you can gladly send it here. We will hold on to it for you, and you can come pick it up at your leisure. It takes a peace of mind during these crazy times of the holidays.
Packages can be picked up during regular business hours with an ID that matches the name of the delivery. That happening now through December 19th. A healthcare provider is expanding in Scranton. The Rice Center is building a more than $5 million health center next door to its existing location on North Main Avenue. The nonprofit that aims to provide affordable care will demolish its current location and use it for parking. The new space includes 10 exam, 4 dental, and 4 behavioral health treatment rooms. The project should be complete at the end of 2026. New era is beginning for Penn State football. The university introduced the new head coach of the Nittany Lions yesterday, Matt Campbell. He is the former coach of Iowa State and previously served as the head coach of Toledo. During his remarks, the Ohio native said that the biggest reason he likes the Nittany Lions is because of some special Pennsylvanians.
My great-grandfather who worked in the coal mines, my grandparents who worked in Carmichael's, Pennsylvania, and all you heard around those family discussions was Coach Paterno and the toughness and the character of the Penn State football program.
The current interim coach, Terry Smith, will stay on Campbell's top assistant with a 4-year contract. The state capitol looking festive for the holidays. Governor Shapiro, his wife Lori, and other state leaders officially lit the Capitol Christmas tree in the rotunda last night. The 25-foot Douglas fir came from a farm in Lehighton, and it's the tallest Capitol tree in more than a decade. It features more than 2,000 lights and 1,700 ornaments, all handmade by Pennsylvania children and seniors.
From the ornaments to the decorations, each passing generation makes the Christmas tree even better, an even greater and more powerful symbol of joy and of light and of community.
And this year's theme was timeless traditions that honor the hands and hearts behind Pennsylvania's craftspeople and community creators. What evidence is permissible in the courtroom? That's what lawyers are debating in the case of Luigi Mangione a year after his arrest. The details that could make or break the case against the alleged killer when we come back.